Hello everyone! In our previous video we discussed getting the FEAGI plugin installed on an example game and using the built-in sensor and motor mappings. Today we will be getting a little bit more involved with interfacing with the FEAGI devices directly in our code. This is pretty useful anytime you're trying to grab any non-trivial data, and is what we're going to be focusing on today. So for example, we want to grab the XY movement speed of our little robot character here, i.e. the velocity, and pass it as a sensor input to FEAGI. The FEAGI sensor we're going to use that is available to us is the accelerometer, which supports XYZ directional float inputs as a vector free. Now, as a quick aside, I want to remind everyone here that velocity is not the same thing as acceleration, of course, but you're just going to pretend it is for now so I can show you how to actually send the numbers themselves. The actual implementation of getting the correct numbers for the right sensors will of course depend on your game. So let's go to our configurator panel here and make sure we have our previous setup loaded from last time. Alright, and you can see here we still have the camera and the motor. So let's now go to our sensor and add in the accelerometer. And let's make sure we take note of this name here, which I will copy into our clipboard. Now, let's save the configuration. And let's go into our game. So we're going to actually edit the player script here to have it send the data we want to use. So what we're going to actually use is what we call a registration agent. So a registration agent basically handles registering data inputs and outputs to FEAGI for us, and just makes life a lot easier. So it's easiest to set as an export variable. So let's go here. Registration agents, and is of type this is a sensory registration agent because an accelerometer is a sensor. So it's save, and now you can see here if you go under the player node we have the registration agent selected here. We can create one right in here, make sure we define it as an accelerometer, and I still have in the clipboard here the name here, and that's done. We're already all set up there. Okay, so back to our script, we now need to actually define a way to get the numbers we need. We do this by registering a callable for the registration agent to use to retrieve our data. In the case of the free access accelerometer, we expect a callable that returns a vector free. So let's create a function that returns that. So, func, let's just call it gets acceleration. I know, again, this is not, we're going to get the velocity, not acceleration here, but just for sake of our example, return a vector free, and we will just return vector free, and we have the velocity property as part of an object here, but it is a vector too, so I'm just going to manually get the xy, and z is going to be 0. Okay, so now with this function we can get the velocity or acceleration of our character. This will actually return the velocity. So now we need to actually tell the registration agent to register using this callable, our virtual accelerometer device. So we can do that in our ready function, which this script does not have. So we'll just add it here. And here we can now just go to our registration agent dot register with FEAGI, and here we can just define the callable, which is the only required variable needed. And with that we are done. So let's start up the game. Let me just head to the debug section here so we can see the data. And let me actually, so I can control the character, let me actually disable the motor here. So I'm going to remove the motion control. So now we have control over our character. And let me hit play. Okay, so again, let's go to debug, accelerometer. Here we can see the data, and you can see if we run, you see the data being popped into here. Perfect. And if we now check FEAGI itself, you can also see, let me just move it over. You can also see the data is still being passed through as before. That's handled just the same. You don't have to worry about it. So from here on out, it's up to you and your FEAGI genome to process the data to however you wish to be used, but I hope the tutorial at least helps you into getting into that point. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.